Well, all right. So I made a video about college about a week ago about college orientation. So I figured I'd follow that up and do a video. 5 things I hate about college. Number one, waste of classes. I mean, 90% of the classes you take you will never use in real life. I mean, Shakespeare is great and all. I mean, he was a legend in the 1600s. But what relevancy does that have to my major? None. It will not help me in my life. So why do I got to pay thousands of dollars to take that class? Until I don't know. I could just learn that shit for free or take a class on my own if I wanted to learn that. But don't make me pay for that shit. I mean, they should actually be teaching us shit we could use in the real life, like, what a mortgage is about or what taxes, how income taxes work or how to get a car loan, shit, how to be a good parent, how to cook, things you could actually use in your real life. I mean, those things aren't related to your major, but at least they are applicable in real life. No, but instead you got to learn about Shakespeare and history and just those things. I don't want to be paying money to learn about those things. Number two, the people in college are so weird. I mean, if you look at people in the real world and compare them to people in college, they're very different. I see a lot of guys in college that like dye their hair green or purple or they look like women. It's like there's a lot of people in college you can't tell if they're a girl or a guy. A lot of people who are very sexually confused in college. A lot of weird people in college, and everybody's always so happy and smiling, and it's just. I think a lot of people in the world smile too much. They act like they're happy, but there's really no reason to smile all the time. There's a lot of negative things in the world, and you just got to be a realist about things, and you can't be too happy all the time. Everybody's always smiling. Why are everybody smiling? So, number 3, living on campus. So many people live on campus, and I think it's a big waste of money. It's a big money grab. And why do people do it, even though it costs a shit ton of money? Why do they say, oh, it's a college experience. You got to learn to live on your own. And once again, there is hardly any relation between college and the real world. I mean, you live on campus, in a dorm. You get all your meals made for you. You get on a meal plan. You eat the shitty food that's so unhealthy for you. A bunch of refined carbs and sugar, at the cafeteria. You're not really cooking any of your own food. So it's not really comparable to living in the real world, living on campus. Furthermore, you just go to parties, you get drunk, and you hook up with random people. It's really, again, nothing compared to the real world. So I hate when people say, "Oh, you gotta do the college experience and learn to live away from home." I don't think that does anything for anybody. Number 4, colleges waste your money. I mean, there's so many things in college that colleges do that are a waste of money. There's something in my college called a diversity department, and I looked up the salary of like the senior director of this bullshit thing. He was making 167 grand. What the fuck? How do you make 167 grand running a diversity department? And what the hell is a diversity department there in the first place? It's a waste of money, and it doesn't need to be there. Just like there's a lot of other things in college that don't need to be there, like the gender and sexuality centers or the LGBT, center, whatever the fuck. A lot of wasteful things in college. I just want to go to my classes, learn about my major, and get my degree. But there's all this extra bullshit. And number 5, and this really puts it all together here, very liberal. Colleges are very liberal, and I don't have a problem with liberals, but politics should not be involved in college, but it clearly is, because most professors are liberal. Most colleges are uber liberal. And it's a shame that everything is political now, and it's pretty obvious. As long as you're not a dumb fuck, it's pretty obvious that most colleges lean very far to the left. Radical left in some instances, and it's a shame because that shit should not be involved in education whatsoever. There should be no politics involved in education. Again, I want to go to my classes, take my classes, and get done with them. But instead, there's all these liberal policies in place in colleges. Like I said, why is there a diversity department? Because colleges are run by liberals, and it's just a shame that it's like that. And there's many stories of radical liberals just corrupting colleges. It's like every one of my professors has been a liberal that's talked about their political views, is always a liberal, except one of them that actually wasn't a liberal, and he actually told us he leaned more to the right. In my God, he was actually a business owner. Get that. You know, all these professors who've probably all they've done is get a government job and teach kids useless information. They're all Democrats. And the one professor that I've taken in my 3 years of college that was a right winger, the only right winger, the only conservative, was a business owner. He was actually my, I forget what class, some economic class or some bullshit like that. Another useless class, business management. I forget what it was actually called, management class. I don't know. But anyway, there's my thoughts on that. College, a lot of bad shit about it. Just a lot of shit about it that doesn't need to be there. Again, it should be simple. You register for classes, you go to classes, you learn shit that will help you get a good job. You get your degree, you graduate, you go on to do good things. But instead, college has been infiltrated with all this extra bullshit, all this liberal bullshit, and all this shit that doesn't need to be there. So there you go, people.